impressed. Let's bake something. This recipe is in 2 parts. The first part is the crust of the tarts, where we will need 1 stick of soft butter, 3 ounces of cream cheese, 1 cup of flour or flour substitute. I will be using this Perfect Blend gluten-free flour because my partners are gluten-free. And then a little bit of salt. Then for the filling, we're going to need 1 egg beaten, 3/4 a cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon melted butter, plus a little extra to grease the cup so that they actually come out, a few drops of vanilla, some chopped walnuts, powdered sugar for topping, and a little more salt will go in the filling too. Step 1 is crust. You're going to need softened butter. You need to let this sit out on the counter for like an hour, or put it in your microwave for short 5 to 20 second bursts. If you do any more than that, you will have a puddle in your microwave. Don't do that. But yeah, this stuff is soft and gooey and getting all over my hands, and that's what we want. 1 stick of butter to 3 ounces of cream cheese, which I've already opened because we remember what happened last time. There's a trick to open these. I always fucking forget it. Center seam at end. Open along center seam at end. I got this. Center seam at end. The fuck? I swear I've done this before. Ta-da! Now we're going to cream this together. If you've never creamed something together, you're going to hate it. I have creamed things together, and I hate it. First step is kind of just stab it. Stab it until it's smaller. Then you start to sort of flat mash. You take the flat of your tool and mash it. Basically, see how there's like some yellow and some white? We want it to all be the same sort of uniform pale yellow color. That's how you know that they're mixed together well. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. That's more or less what it should look like when it's all creamed together. Then you're going to add 1 cup of flour or flour substitute. One of my boyfriends is celiac, so we can't do flour here. And mix it in. Mix it slowly so you don't poof flour all over your counter like I do. And you're kind of at first just going to try to coat the blobs in flour. And scrape them off your spatula. Cut them in half so there's more surface area for the flour to stick to. And coat them some more. Just keep doing that pretty much forever. Keep doing it. Don't stop doing it. This is how we make cookies in this house. So once you've kind of got all these little lumps and piles of flour everywhere, and you're not really able to cut the lumps down any smaller, it's time to get your hands dirty. It's my favorite part. No, really, hands and counter. Kind of just reach in and squeeze it. And yeah, you're going to get dirty. It's going to happen. Squeeze it. It's going to be sticky. The goal is to make it not sticky, but like dough. Because this is the crust of the little tarts we're going to make. And just keep squeezing it, rolling it around, grabbing more flour, sprinkling it on top, squeezing it some more, fold it over, squeeze it. It's just kneading. And I have to do it one-handedly because I cut myself when I was trimming the truffles last time. Hooray. So let's keep doing this. All the flour will disappear, I promise. It's going to feel like it's not gonna, but you keep scraping stuff from the side of the bowl, flipping over your mass of weirdness, squeezing it together. You'll get there eventually. So once you're done, it should sort of be about this consistency. And if you're not an idiot like me, you will have remembered to add your salt in with the first bit of dry stuff, which was the flour. I hate this container. This is not going to end well. Finally. Alright, so I would have a teaspoon, so not too much, just a largish pinch. I'm just going to need that in there. If you mix it with the flour, before you add the flour, you don't need to do this. But I'm done, so I do. Right. Once you've got that unnecessary step out of the way, I'm going to take this and put it in the fridge to chill. This next step is greasing these with butter. Each and every one of these little places that are going to have cookies are going to need to be greased. This is literally what I do. Put butter in, I smear it around till there's butter on all the surfaces and the bottom, and move on. So now you can have fun watching me do that. So Christmas was literally 3 days ago, and these are my traditional Christmas cookies. I bake them every year for Christmas. This year I'm baking them 3 days after Christmas because I'm depressed as fuck and I want cookies. So I figured I'd talk about Christmas. Christmas Eve, I went to go see my dad. That was alright. He lives about an hour away, so the drive sucked. But this year he did improve over last year. This year he only said 2 racist things that pissed me off. So that was nice, I guess. And then Christmas Day, I went to my Metamor's place where they made an amazing dinner and everyone, gathered together, and I got to see some family members who were out of town. They're from California, I'm in Michigan, so that was great. Until halfway through dinner, I chipped off a giant chunk of one of my wisdom teeth. So I have a huge, huge phobia of the dentist, so this was awful. I had a panic attack in the middle of dinner. Had to stop eating and step outside and calm the fuck down. Basically, I've been trying to get my wisdom teeth removed for the past 4 to 6 months. My insurance says that the U of M dental school does take my insurance, and the dental school says that they don't, and my insurance says they just have to do a pre-auth and all this stuff, and it's been back and forth, and so yeah, now this happens. And they're a school, so they're closed until around January 2nd. So I guess I just get to live like this for another couple weeks. Hooray. So how did your holiday season go? And if you don't celebrate the holidays, how did your December 25th go? Was it just a normal day? Was it really nice? Did you like not having all the holiday stress? I'm jealous. Drop me a comment below, and if you want, follow me on Twitter at @depressedbaker. And let me know how everything went for you. So once that's done, pull your dough out of the fridge. It's not going to be super hard. Mine's really mushy. It's not even all that cold. What you want to do is you're going to break pieces off of it. About that big. Roll them into a ball. It's about an inch and a half long. And then drop one into each cup. So let's talk about the origins of this recipe. I've literally never been able to find this recipe online anywhere. If you have, let me know. Comment down below or at me at Twitter, @depressedbaker, because yeah, I've looked. I haven't been able to find it. I've lost this recipe so many times and had to go find it on old hard drives or ask my mom. So basically, this has been in my family for years, at least as long as I've been alive, which is 31 years now. So yeah. 3 decades at the very least, and my mom said she'd been making them for a while before. So the funny thing is, there was a year where I made them slightly different. The original recipe didn't have any salt or vanilla, and I made them with the salt and the vanilla one year, and Mom ended up burning the cookies. And so I was the hero that year, because not only did I make them and not burn them, but they were so much better than everyone was used to. It was a really great feeling, especially because my mom was kind of a hard ass. That's an understatement. But I just remember pushing out all these little cups, all these little muffin tins making the little dough cups for them, I would just get yelled at over and over and over again for not doing it right. And the fact that I did it so right that year, that I did it better than she did, was such an amazing feeling. So, yeah, I really enjoy making these cookies, and everybody really seems to enjoy eating them. I gave everybody 6 cookies and 8 truffles, and I sort of walked around and peeked in their bags at the end of the Christmas dinner. And yeah, most of the cookies were gone, so I think everyone's going to be happy that I'm making some more, even though these are at least partially for me. Tell me what you think when you make them. Do you like them? Is there something you think you would add and change? Let me know. Comment down below or at me on Twitter. There you go. So if you do this right, this should make about 2 dozen cookies, which means I greased about 2 dozen cups too many. I'm used to making double batches. And you will have some left over, and you do want that. Because the next step is a pain. First, we're going to squish down all these balls. It's not that kind of channel, I promise. So once they're all flat, and it doesn't matter, you can obviously be just sort of whatever with that. Now I'll bring you in closer and you can see how we make the cups. Alright, this is about as good as I can do with the equipment I'm working with. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of make a divot in each of these, and then from that divot, push out. You want these cups as deep as possible, but you don't want to rip any holes in them. I'm sure I will rip holes in some of them, but that's what that extra dough is for. That is patchwork dough. So yeah, I'm gonna flatten all these cups out, and I will be back. So there we go. All of my cups are done. It took me maybe 5 minutes, but I've been literally doing this my entire life. My mom taught me how to make these when I was very, very young, and this is just what we do for Christmas in our family. Sometimes years it's a competition to see who can make them best. I've won a couple times, of course. So now that those are done, and if you suffer from OCD, I am very sorry, because these are never going to be identical. Maybe these are not the cookies for you. But now that these are as done as they're going to get, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to work on the filling. I hate dishes, and this episode almost didn't happen because there were so many dishes. So we're just going to use the same bowl. Take a paper towel and wipe it out. It's never been a problem for me. So if it's a problem for you, let me know down in the comments and let me know why. So yeah, that's, it's clean enough. So the first step is melting the butter. Got 1 tablespoon right there. Put it in for like 20 seconds at a time. It's about like half melted. You can see that. So I'll put it in for another 15 or 20. I'm going to do 15 because that one actually got it pretty far along. Yeah, that's done it. It's completely liquid. Then just put it in the bowl. Next is 1 egg. Hopefully sand shell, we'll see. Basically for this recipe I use a spoon and a fork for the filling. And you whip the egg. Whip the egg with the butter. That's good enough. Our old friend, the vanilla bottle. A couple drops for real this time because we can't mop it up. 3, 4, 5. Sure, that's probably fine. And mix that up some more. Now for my favorite part, brown sugar. You want 3/4 cup. You want it packed down real good. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the sugar that's in there and squishing it down. Yeah, that's close enough. And just dump that in the bowl, if you can. Sometimes you can't. Right now I can't. There it is. There's gonna be a bunch left over. Take your spoon or rubber scraper if you like. Scrape it out. It's just covered in butter, which is lovely. Get off the fucking spoon. Get off the spoon, you're embarrassing me. Dump that in. Alright. So mix that together real good. Make this weird looking, gross, sort of pukey mess. Yeah, there you go. That's gross enough. Now we're gonna chop some nuts. So it's my tradition that I use walnuts, but if you can't have walnuts, or if someone you're making these cookies for can't have walnuts, you can really use any nuts you want. You can buy them already chopped. That's more expensive, and I'm poor. But once they get down to the bottom of the bag, they're mostly chopped anyway. So we need 1 cup of these. And that's about how fine you want them. You know, these are maybe a little on the big side. I'll go over them again. Yeah, that's more like it. When I was little, we had this sort of nut grinder where you just plop them in the top and turn the lever and they would be that small. But now I'm old and I gotta do it by hand. So once you've got them chopped, grab the same measuring cup as before because I hate dishes, that's right. And try to avoid this powdery stuff. Scrape off the big chunks. And there, that's about good. It's about at the 1 cup line. Grab the snotty mess from before. Dump in the nuts. Mix it until there are no dry pieces of walnut. And that's it. That's it, except for the salt, which I forgot again. You fight me this time? No, thank you. About the same much as the crust, just a little sprinkle. Okay, now we're done. Get that excess off the fork. Lick your fingers if you're a heathen like me. And then take this and your spoon back to your cupcake tin. So at this point we're almost done. You want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And then we're going to start filling these cups. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a little bit on the end of the spoon like that and drip it all over the tin. No, we're going to try and fill these about 3/4 of the way full. Try and wipe off any excess because that will burn. And then just do that for all of them. Just hold the spoon there and scrape it off with your finger. Not quite enough, add a little bit more. And that's really it. That's all there is to these. Just fill the tins, and then when we bake them, we'll decorate them. And there we go. And I used most of it. There's a little left over, but this shit's really good, so fucking eat it with a spoon, whatever. Oven is preheated. These guys are ready to go in. There we go. You set a timer for 18 minutes, and they should be done when that timer's done. Alright, time to take them out. Oh yeah. Those look great. There you go. That's what they look like. Doesn't look like too many of them exploded either. Sometimes they'll explode and this sort of burnt sugar will get everywhere. You'll just have to rinse it off later. Now we gotta wait for them to cool, and then we'll dip them in sugar. So now that the cookies are cool, they're cool to the touch, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you can twist them all like that. And if you find some you can't, like this one, you might have to chisel away at the burnt sugar. It seems to have exploded a little bit. There we go. And yeah, it should be pretty easy. That was the purpose of buttering all the cups. I mean, there's no purpose to buttering all of those. That was because I was stupid, but you know. So now, we're going to take out each individual cookie, dip it in powdered sugar, as much or as little as you want. Actually, one of my boyfriends doesn't like any, so you don't have to do this, but yeah. Dip them in, put them on the plate. And they're ready to go. Look at that, they're so pretty. These pretty cookies. I'll leave the last 6 undipped for my partner who doesn't like powdered sugar on them, but yeah, that's it. You have just made Tom Thumb Tarts. So if you liked the recipe, if you tried it and you liked it, or if you just liked the tutorial, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my depressed life and my baking failures and successes. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at @depressedbaker for more information and when all the videos come out and everything. So, yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.